just as an example. But yeah.
And then another one I'm particularly interested in is AI.
Mm-hmm.
So to name a project, SingularityNet, which is
Isn't that like the Skynet? Isn't that kind of like the next? I've heard about this where it's like the next thing.
it's Dr. Ben Goertzel's project. Do you?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah,
I'm
he's
not
just
familiar.
this. He's heavy guy, cool hat,
Uh-huh.
John Lennon-esque glasses, I suppose. Great guy.
Yeah.
He's awesome.
Was he on The Social Dilemma?
No, but he's been on Joe Rogan.
Okay.
But his project. So he's been working in the AI space for his life.
Sure.
Like he's the father of the term artificial general intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
And his theory is that the only way for us to get to the next level of AI is to create an incentivized network. So he's incorporating blockchain into a network of AIs to form a kind of meritocracy.
Mm-hmm.
So you have all these different. So I think a really good analogy is if you think of an organization, like all the people, and we have actual research on this, but the people that each individual of an organization has a certain IQ. So,
Mm-hmm.
but if you put everyone together, the organization itself has a kind of super intelligence. It has a greater IQ, because of the fact that everyone's kind of coming together in this hive mind. And that's the same principle with SingularityNet, is that you could get all these specialized narrow AIs, like, the one that plays Go, or the one that's going to extract the audio from your video, from your music, or whatever. And then you just form a society of those AIs, and you let them outsource work to one another and exchanging value. And then emergent from that is a kind of generalized intelligence, because general intelligence is it's the ability to generalize, like to apply what you already know to something new somewhat adequately.
Okay. Sure.
Like
Yeah. So where
that's what makes us like
so
generally
I
intelligent.
can learn how to type, and then I can take that to a typewriter.
Yeah,
and I can
exactly.
also-
You'll have this intuitive.
So it's kind of like combining all the systems that are currently in existence, and then
from that also to get to super intelligence is kind of taking the same principle and then working it again.
Yeah. Yes. Okay.
And that's to me, I was like, wow, that's kind of, it is quite intuitive. Like that makes sense, right? Like, as a layperson, I can follow that kind of logic. And so that's one other application.
Do you not get nervous about just getting like phased out of the world?
Phased out?
Like, where it's just AI just decides to...
Well, in this case, this is the only way we'd get a benevolent option. So currently AI is in the hands of big tech, government, and you know that they're gonna like use it to sell you more things. Like the intentions of it are not so noble. And what we could be using AI for is just so much richer. Like, and if you put it in the hands of the people, for people that need it for crops or for weather or for their health or the like, and you make it access to everyone. So not just a specific class within the hierarchy of society. If you make it open, it's more democratic, and AI should, or I think it should be that way. Like if we're gonna give it a go.
I just when you talk about the whole and I agree, like it should be,
but it also might be, it may very well turn out to be, this is the interesting point of why he's picked this way of doing things, is it may turn out to be the way to make something generally intelligent. Like every other I guess centralized body might not be able to actually accomplish it because they don't have the principles right, or laying the foundation correctly. So I find that quite an interesting
is there like implied morality in that system?
Well, in his case, he wants, because he's very interested in like neurosymbolic AI. So he wants to educate it, right? To teach it morality, rather than, because when you think of like things like GPT-3, like the recent AI that's being released, that's like, it's convincingly human in what it can produce, but it can't produce any kind of like original thought. Those narrow AIs, they're zombies, right? They're not sapient. They're not present.
Like not self-aware.
Yeah, they're not
Self-awareness,
self-aware.
kind of like the true measure of like
Yeah.
super.
But because
AI.
that would be where you would get. Well, you would assume that'd be where you get empathy or
sure.
a kind of morality and a compass.
It's so interesting though, because like morality is really like it's based on the society that you're in, the culture that you're brought up in as well. And I think there's something to be said for just like the balance of chemicals in your own brain.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, definitely.
some people are more empathetic than others. Some people just have no empathy and no sympathy.
Yeah.
I wonder how much that affects whether or not how an AI would operate.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good
It's
questions. Good questions.
mind-boggling. Yeah. Not for today.
Because I guess it depends on whether you're trying to just replicate the human brain in a
Yes.
And,
Yeah. Or if you're trying to create something totally different. Yeah. I'm not sure.
but yeah, bringing it back to blockchain.
Yes, please. Yeah.
My point is that there are these separate incentive networks that are being established slowly but surely, that rather than just getting amongst it to flip a token to get some kind of like profit, they actually deliver some kind of real world result.
Right.
Like that's what I'm really interested in. It's like what's the thing that's going to add value to my life? And so there are these particular networks, and then there's the smart web, which is the other one I was talking about, which is rooted in Bitcoin. So if you think about your phone, right, a smartphone, what made it smart, if I ask you that?
I guess like just the ease of access, how easily I can use it, and I guess like some of the intuition that it has.
Yeah.
You know, being able to like, hey Siri, and then talk, and then the automation of otherwise complex things.
Yeah. So when you had an old phone, right, like with a keyboard,
yeah,
that was a dumb phone.
T9, yeah.
I would say that the differentiation between the two was applications.
Okay.
So you went from, because on your old phone you would just have a browser,
Sure.
You'd have text, you'd call, and then on your smartphone now you've got the Play Store, now you've got App Store. You're downloading things and you're running them, and the website is now it's packaged in this executable, right? So the smart web is saying the web is dumb too. Like the web is information based, and if you think of email, that was like a kind of rudimentary feature of the initial internet. Like it's a really good, I guess, example. But email was a form of, if you put it under like an umbrella term, email is a form of communication. And then we had, what came, I don't know what came specifically after, but then you had things like video, audio,
Skype,
then streaming, then online gaming, or it's actually the other way around, gaming, and then online streaming.
Sure.
And all of these things, they fall under the umbrella of communication. There's different ways to communicate.
Sure.
With cryptocurrency and with Bitcoin and with blockchain, if we actually think about Bitcoin, its rudimentary is it's just value transfer. It solves a particular problem in computer science, which says that now I can send you a 1 and now I've got 0. And we know that that's the case. It's not like I send you 1 and I've still got 1 secretly.
Like yeah. So it's basically, that's the whole point of the blockchain, right? Is it's like a distributed ledger, and everyone can see every single transaction that's ever been done, and so you can track everything. Is that right?
I would argue that is still, and that is the rudimentary. So that's like the email phase.
And then the smart web is
a web of code. So taking the principles of scarcity that have been enabled by this kind of unit of account, we can stretch that unit of account out to code itself.
And what is unit of account?
So like when I say a 1 or a 0, like when I give you a 1, that's, I'm trying to think of it, what's a simpler way of saying it? Like, I give you a 1.
Okay, yeah, you give me a 1.
Because
and then
like going back to that value question, right? It's like, yeah, it doesn't, like if we think about it, it doesn't really have value. It's kind of like what we ascribe it. But at the end of the day, it's a 1. Like I'm giving you 1 Bitcoin.
Sure.
And I've got 0 Bitcoin now. And I
Sure.
have 1 Bitcoin. But that principle can be extended. So the scarcity, what we could do is we can extend that to a token that can be backed by something. So you can have the same unit of account principle, but the unit of account is backed by a piece of code. So you could have a ebook as like a really, I guess, clear example. Because previously, if you wanted to buy an ebook, you'd buy it on Kindle or something, and Amazon will let you read it, right? But you don't really own that thing. You lease it from Amazon. You've paid money, you've got it there. If Amazon were to, and this is what we're seeing now with things like banning of things and censorship and whatnot. It's like they can decide to restrict access if they want to. It's the same problem that we talked about initially with the bank, right? The bank can decide to stop you having money. Amazon can decide to stop you maybe reading this particular book. But if you had the book itself and you imbued it with this quality, well, then you have scarcity of that thing. So you could have, I could say, I'm going to publish my book, that I've been working on. I only want there to be 10,000. And then you have scarcity for a piece of art on the internet. And that is something that's near and dear to my heart, because I think that creatives have been shafted on the internet, right? Like musicians, writers, the like. There's no value there now because everything is free. And so the value is kind of lost. And by restoring that principle to things, we can start to give value to objects on the internet again.
So are you saying charge for everything on the internet? Is that kind of what you're getting back to?
Yeah.
And then
I suppose that's kind of part of how you solve the problem. So the social dilemma problem, right? So you are the product.
Yeah.
So nothing's really free. You're the product. How do you fix that? You flip it around the other way. So
where we pay for everything and our information is not sold?
Well, you make it so that the internet is secure by default. So I keep all my cards here in my chest, and I decide who and what has access to me.
And this is, don't we kind of do that when we sign the terms of conditions? Do you know what I mean? Like we sign that away when it's like, we go onto Facebook and it's like, do you accept the following terms and conditions? We willingly, as ill-informed as we probably are, without fully knowing like the implications of, yes, I'm going to give Facebook my information and get targeted ads and get manipulated. We accept that without fully knowing what we're getting into. And so what you're saying is,
well, you would, in this case, you would also have the option to, recount it, so you could
take it back.
You could take it back, and that you've taken it back.
Right.
So it all comes down to having. So if you think of the Bitcoin blockchain, what you need to add to it is a decentralized ID. So you need a universal login, and now everyone has an identifier, and everything can have an identifier. So every fridge, every microwave, whatever. It's all got an ID, and you control it. So as long as those IDs are synced with your ID, when you make a request to the network, you have the authority to interface with that thing. So smart homes are a really good example. So currently everyone's like, oh, I want an Alexa, or I want, I want a smart garage door.
Are you essentially requesting authority from Like,
Yeah.
so if you have Google Home,
Yeah.
Google Home's the authority
Well,
figure.
Google's in your home, right?
Sure, yeah. So Google has control of your garage
Yeah, yeah.
door if you say
Yeah, and
open.
there's a few funny articles where people
Right.
haven't been able to open their garage doors because
Google doesn't
it's not
want you to.
working. Because
Right.
every time when I go from my phone to my garage door, there's a request sent to Google server that's coming back to the garage door.
Right, and so you're saying don't go through Google?
Yeah, I'm saying cut them out.
Okay.
Like when you have a home that's smart, do you want Google there, or do you want to have full control of everything?
Sure, and
Do you
that's
want
where
to control
you're
your
saying
space?
creating a decentralized. I get it. Okay,
Yeah.
using some form of currency, whether that
Yeah, in
probably
this
come in
case,
form of
the
crypto.
commodity. So
Sure.
the commodity is the ability. It's kind of like a native internet currency that you use for assigning IDs to things
Mhm.
and to create scarce assets from.
Okay, so I get that. So what's to stop, let's say, one company, because you have these huge mines in like Iceland and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
What's to stop one company from just hoarding all of the coins, kind of similar to what we currently have, right? Through them processing all of these transactions. Do they just re-release those coins into the market? What do they sell them back to us? And then what do we buy those coins with once we...
In the case of the smart web, it's actually got a governance layer.
Uh-huh.
So there's a separate component of the overall ecosystem called the Cyber Republic,
Okay.
which is about trying to establish a kind of digital nation.
Mhm.
So in that case, and governance is an interesting area of the cryptocurrency space.
Yeah, because I thought the whole point, like, or the big push of the whole crypto space, right, was like lack of government involvement or a structure like that. So fully decentralized.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's almost like we're kind of coming to a point now where we recognize that we do.
It's gradients.
place for it.
So the core of it needs to be autonomous,
Mhm.
and that's why I've said that if I was to take a position in the kind of like overall philosophy of everything, I would consider myself a Bitcoin centrist.
Okay.
So I think that Bitcoin has its place. I don't think it's the cell. I think it's the nucleus. So I think it's the central point that everything that wants to survive in the long term needs to become symbiotic with. If it doesn't, and this is why I'm bearish on Ethereum.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm happy to be proven wrong, but the reason why there is friction within the two communities at the moment is, I believe, because Ethereum is fundamentally competitive to Bitcoin, or it wants to be.
Mhm.
It wants to say, nah, I'm money, you're not money, I'm money. And that's confusing, particularly because Ethereum's monetary policy is not, it doesn't cut the mustard next to Bitcoin.
Right.
And so it's kind of like its abstraction layer is just kind of off. It wants to say that it's a world computer and that it's equipped to do to run applications, but those applications aren't really applications because they're doing nothing to protect the user's data.
Right.
And we need that. Like, if we're going to have a next iteration of the internet, we need to solve the problems we're currently facing.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Thank you for watching that clip. If you enjoyed it, make sure you hit that subscribe button on the left. And if you want to watch the full episode, hit the square on the bottom. To watch another small clip, go ahead and hit that square on top. And if you just want to listen to the full episode but don't have time to watch it, you can find this podcast wherever podcasts are listened to. Thanks. Bye.